Welcome back to the Explainer. Okay, today we are unlocking an absolute cheat code for punchy, dynamic, and downright dramatic writing. I'm talking about the magic of the ellipsis. You know, those three little dots. Well, it turns out they pack way more punch than you might think.
I mean, have you ever found yourself stuck reading a hopelessly bloated sentence, just wishing you could wave a magic wand and make all those annoying, unnecessary words literally poof into thin air? We've all stared at massive blocks of text that take forever to just get to the point. Consider this explainer your ultimate linguistic disappearing act.
Let's get right into it. Section 1. Meet the mighty ellipsis. So here's our visual roadmap for today. We're going to break down every single piece of this beautifully structured guide, step by step, to show you exactly how the ellipsis functions as the ultimate grammatical tool.
So what exactly is an ellipsis anyway? Well, according to our source material, it basically has two distinct superpowers. First up is its primary use. It's a tool used to shorten passages. You can use it to completely remove unnecessary text, while, and this is absolutely crucial, the core meaning of the sentence stays exactly the same. But hey, that's not all. The second superpower is that it can also be used to show a pause, a hesitation, or an incomplete thought, shrinking bloated text and injecting dramatic pauses. It's a total dual threat.
Moving on to Section 2. 2 rules of the game.
Think of these as the essential instructions for pulling off our magic trick perfectly. Here are the 2 key rules laid out clearly for us. Step 1 is all about spacing. You must always use one space before and after the dots. Word, space, dot, 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 space, word. Super easy, right? Step 2 is the no comma rule. When you use an ellipsis at the end of a quote, you just drop the comma that usually sits right before the speaker reference.
Check out how visually sleek this structure actually looks. Quote, dot, 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 close quotes, says speaker. By applying that no comma rule, we eliminate so much visual clutter. You don't need a clunky comma getting in the way of your magic.
All right, Section 3. Step 1. Shrinking text. Let's put that first superpower to work. Listen to this bloated sentence. We were cautioned by the 7th grade world history teacher, Mrs. Peterson, not to run in the halls. That incredibly long job title completely drags the sentence down. But watch what happens when we drop in the ellipsis. We were cautioned by the teacher, Mrs. Peterson, not to run in the halls. The ellipsis instantly slices out the fluff, leaving a punchy, direct point.
Here's another total clunker. The important point to make, and I cannot say it too often, is that music and art are important factors in a culture. That middle phrase is so distracting. Let's just fast forward. The important point to make is that music and art are important factors in a culture. Boom. We just skipped the fluff and got right to the actual important point.
Let's do one more shrinking act. He couldn't run fast enough, although he tried with all his might to catch the carriage as it traveled down the road. Let's trim it down. He couldn't run fast enough to catch the carriage as it traveled down the road. The story is exactly the same, it's just delivered way more efficiently.
Section 4. Step 2. Dramatic pauses.
Time to unleash the second superpower and step right into the theater of grammar. Listen to this totally straightforward, frankly boring statement. I thought the party was nice. It has zero emotion. But watch this. Let's add an incomplete thought. I thought the party was nice. Do you hear the difference? Dropping those 3 little dots right in the middle implies hesitation. It actually implies the party wasn't that nice at all, creating a wonderfully awkward tension purely through punctuation.
Let's see how this builds tension in actual dialogue. Abrar said, "There's nothing inside." By dropping the ellipsis right before the reveal, we create a literal hesitation in the reader's mind. You naturally lean into that theatrical pause, taking a super basic line of dialogue and turning it into a mini cliffhanger.
So we've seen how it shrinks down bloated sentences, and we've seen how it injects serious suspense. I want to leave you with this final thought. The next time you write an email, text a friend, or craft a story, will you use the ellipsis for brevity or for drama? The magic is entirely up to you. Thanks so much for joining me today, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.
Ellipsis. The ellipsis is used to shorten a passage. The omitted text does not change the meaning of the original text and is unnecessary to its meaning. It may also be used to show a pause, hesitation, or an incomplete thought, especially in quotations. Note there is a space before and after the ellipsis. If the ellipsis is at the end of a quotation followed by a speaker reference, there is no comma. Examples. The guests were impressed by the library. I'm confused, said Gulmeena. Rewrite each sentence below omitting text and using an ellipsis. Original. We were cautioned by the 7th grade world history teacher Mrs. Peterson not to run in the halls. Shortened. We were cautioned by the teacher Mrs. Peterson not to run in the halls. Original. The important point to make, and I cannot say it too often, is that music and art are important factors in a culture. Shortened. The important point to make is that music and art are important factors in a culture. Original. He couldn't run fast enough, although he tried with all his might, to catch the carriage as it traveled down the road. Shortened. He couldn't run fast enough to catch the carriage as it traveled down the road. Original. I thought the party was nice. Pause, incomplete thought. I thought the party was nice. Original. Abra said, there's nothing inside. Pause, hesitation. Abra said, there's nothing inside.